Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the whole team here at Multimillion Group, thank you very much for joining us here for what I'm sure will be a stunning auction here, and welcome to the auction of 13 Appleton Avenue in the lovely, lovely suburb of Keysborough here. So to all of our bidders and buyers, make sure to bid bold, bid aggressively, bid to the absolute upper echelon of your capacity. Give yourself every opportunity to be that lucky and successful buyer here today. I'm sure you're somewhere in the crowd here today, and geez, what a crowd do we have. And my instructions to you are simple. Make sure to bid bold, bid aggressively, bid to the absolute upper echelon of your capacity. Give yourself every opportunity to be that lucky and successful buyer. Now, of course, I'd like to take the time to thank our vendors very, very much as well for not only entrusting myself to be the auctioneer, but also the entire selling team at Multimillion Group for selling what is arguably their most prized possession. Now, of course, you've got Varun and Chris here, supported by the rest of the team, Jack, Alicia, and you've also got the support of the guys out at Commonwealth Bank as well. If you do need any support with your finance needs here, Jacqueline and Ursa, I think I've gotten that right there. So make sure to speak to any single one of the team members here. If you do need any support with your bidding endeavours or questions about the property, would happily come to your aid there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you have attended an auction before in Victoria, I will quickly let you know that the auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules, and any additional conditions made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit the auctioneer from accepting bids or offers for a property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. The vendors have a reserve price, as your auctioneer will be indicating bidders on a request. The law prohibits false bids, prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders from attempting to prevent others from bidding, and it will issue fines for misconduct. The rules do permit vendor bids. The words I will be using to indicate I am placing a bid on behalf of our vendors is simply vendor bid. By law, only I, as the auctioneer, can place those vendor bids. Settlement terms for the purchase of the home: we're expecting a 30 to 45-day settlement. We're also asking for a standard 10% deposit payable this evening to the trust account of Multimillion Group by bank check or bank transfer. If you've had any prior arranged terms or conditions discussed and our vendors are agreeable to those terms, then you're more than comfortable to be bidding on that basis. Now, buyers, that's the boring stuff well and truly out the way. Let's talk about a stunning, stunning home up for your competition. 13 Appleton Avenue in Keysborough. This is a stunning, stunning home. It is truly exquisite, or a cut above the rest. This is one where sophistication meets luxury. This is a home that you're going to be looking forward to coming home to after a hard day's work, because you have worked hard to achieve a lifestyle which warrants you to live in this beautiful home. Top quality fixtures and fittings and appliances all throughout the home. Lovely, lovely facade with beautiful, pristine landscaping. And of course, the layout is superb. Multiple living zones all throughout the house. Multiple master bedrooms as well, with en-suites all across the home. Beautiful, beautiful downstairs living as well, which is going to be perfect for those modern multi-generational families. So if you want to bring your parents and family over, they can just live in that downstairs area and have everything that they need access to without having to go up and down those stairs. And of course, the seamless transition into that outdoor area. Again, front and back landscaping, absolutely stunning, and you stand to inherit that with some low maintenance living to boot. This is an absolutely stunning home, and of course the location is spectacular as well, with all the local parks and reserves in here. You've got all the local amenities within a very convenient walk or a drive from this particular location. Of course, very, very high quality school options as well in terms of catchment zones. You've got Keysborough Gardens Primary School and Keysborough Secondary College. And if that's not enough, you've got elite schools like Hailbury College and much more. Parkmore Shopping Centre is going to take care of all of those shopping needs. And guess what? That's only about a 5-minute drive from this location. Public transport accessibilities, a major roadway, freeway accesses will take you anywhere that you need to go in a metropolitan Melbourne. So ladies and gentlemen, many reasons to be bidding and buying in this particular spot and in this particular home. And I'll add one more thing, and that's just what's happened recently with the tariffs that have been implemented by Donald J. Trump. That has flipped the economy on its head, and now all of a sudden the banks are now expecting multiple rate cuts with a lot more certainty. So that's going to drive even more demand into the marketplace. So if you are looking, your time is very, very limited. We're going to see the market skyrocket from here. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you now for your spiritual bidding. Who would like to get the auction underway? Don't mind where we start. Thought I nailed that introduction, and we're all jumping over ourselves to jump into the auction. A stunning opportunity here. Happy to start at any opening figure where you see logical value. We'll simply take it from there. Varun, Alicia, Chris, Jack, let me know if there's any interest in who would like to start me off. Otherwise, I simply have to move things along with vendor bids and start things off. Quoting range 1.55 to 1.65. An absolute steal at that range here, buyers. Happy to open things up. Where do we see a fair, reasonable start, buyers? Going to count it 3 times and we'll move things along. 155, just where I was going to start things off myself, but welcome to the auction and good luck out that way. There you go, guys. Social proof and evidence that the property is wanted by somebody else at 1.55. Let's go, and $25,000 rise on top. Take me to 1.575 from here. $1,550,000 needs to be $25,000 on rise. Absolute bare minimum at that point in time. If you'd like to come on in, this is a stunning opportunity. Beautiful home, 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, multiple car spacing opportunities with that double lock-up garage out there. 464 square meters of prime real estate in Keysborough. Ladies and gentlemen, $1,550,000 needs to be $25,000 north from here. First call at $1,550,000. Good luck, Varun, to your buyer out that way. Second call at $1,550,000. Third, final time, all done. Very tough crowd today. I'm going to have to move things along. One last opportunity, otherwise I simply place a vendor bid, and I will be more aggressive than that $25,000 increment because we're not getting the interest that we need at this point in time. I'm going to place aggressive vendor bids. One last opportunity, jump in on a 25, otherwise I place my vendor bid at 1.6. First call, second call, third, final time, all done, finished, absolutely silent. Raise your hand, let me know. Varun, I'm going to move the auction along at 1.6 now. Happy to see your buyers back in on another 25 at $1,600,000. Options on you and bids against yourself now at $1,600,000. A place they vendor bid. We're moving things along with pace at $1,600,000. Last opportunity, guys, for you to jump on in. Otherwise, actions against you. Bids out that way here at $1,600,000. A place they vendor bid needs to be $25,000 north from here, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we go from here? First call at $1,600,000. We simply move things along. Second call at $1,600,000. Third and final time, all done, finished, absolutely silent, guys. Would you like to jump back in? 1.625 is where you need to be if you'd like to do so. Just give me the nod ahead, let me know, shake of the head, which opens it up for everybody else in the crowd as well at $1,600,000. Otherwise, I have to simply keep moving things along with vendor bids until the point we're probably past your budget. So $1,600,000 needs to be 625 if you'd like to jump on in. First call, second call at $1,600,000. Third and final time, all done. Varun, last opportunity. I place my vendor bid. Need to know 25? 25? How are we going? Just a minute at $1,600,000. Absolute steal, by the way. I need to place a vendor bid. Varun, I'm going to give you one more time to the count of 3 and need to know we're moving the auction along. Any other interest in the crowd, you need to let me know now. First call at $1,600,000. In or out, need to know now. Second call at $1,600,000. Third and final time, all done. There we go, $1,625,000 back in on top and poised to take it away now. Thank you very much for that bid and good luck to you. $1,625,000. Let's go straight to 50 now at $1,625,000. Now, there you go, buyers. There's your social proof and evidence. It is wanted by somebody else, and I can tell you it's worth much, much more than that. The number of fixtures and fittings that are so high quality here. This is a home that will last you a lifetime. Very sturdy build and very well loved by our owners here at $1,625,000. Varun, your buyer back in on front at $1,625,000. Need to be $650 now, buyers. We're moving at $25,000 at an absolute bare minimum. Otherwise, I place a vendor bid and continue the auction from here. First call at $1,625,000. Second call at $1,625,000. Third and final time, all done. Now, guys, Varun, I think it's a good time to take a pause to the auction here at $1,625,000. We will get some instructions from our vendors at this point in time. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten much more bidding than here, but I'm going to come back with some instructions shortly and hopefully some good news out this way for you guys there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience and anticipation while we sort out those instructions from our vendor. Now, I can tell you we are very, very close to the point where the property is on the market, but in absence of that, my instructions are very, very simple from our vendors. I've been instructed to place one more vendor bid and one more vendor bid only, and that will signify the end of the auction. I'm going to let you know exactly where that is. So if you would like to bid on top of our current bid of $1,625,000, that will put you in the box seat to start the negotiation process. So at this point in time, our highest bidder has secured their rights to the sole exclusive rights of negotiation and first right of refusal. Essentially, what that means is if there's no further bid and if there's any other interest in the crowd and you would like to offer more, without that exclusive right to negotiation, we cannot talk to you until we are done with our highest bidder. Now, more often than not, we are going to be selling to the person that we pass the property in. So one last opportunity. I'm going to be placing a vendor bid at $1,650,000. Any advance on top before I place my vendor bid will put you at the negotiation table and a very, very good position to buy this stunning home here today. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to hand it over to you once again for your spiritual bidding. Where do we go from here? At $1,625,000, holding the highest bid at this point in time, right at the back of the auction, I'm going to place a vendor bid at $1,650,000 from here. If we're not seeing any further advance on top, another bid on top, any bid on top, we'll see you having that sole right of negotiation, exclusive right of negotiation, and being in the first position to purchase this lovely home here today. I can tell you, once we pass the property in, there's not much of a gap to bridge from here, so it puts you in a stunning position. One last opportunity. I'm going to let the team make their rounds from here, and at $1,625,000, we'll place our vendor bid and start negotiation processes effective immediately with our highest bidder. Ladies and gentlemen, one last opportunity. Counting it 3 times for Varun, unless you magically, or Chris, or Alicia, or Jack find a last-minute bid in the crowd. First call, need to know now, buyers. Second call, at $1,625,000, I place a vendor bid if there's no further advance, if there's no further bidding from here. Third, final time, all done, finished, absolutely silent. Varun, I think I place a vendor bid. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the team at Multimillion Group, I thank you very much. We formally passed the property in on a vendor bid at $1,650,000. Let's give our highest bidder a round of applause. We're going to start that negotiation process and hopefully update you with a sold result very, very shortly. Thank you once again and have a good rest of your weekend.